Hey gang, Sam Ward here, and we are getting ready this weekend to launch Church Online. You guys are a huge part of that. And I'm also been talking to a number of people in our ministry, outside of our ministry, about what's going on in their life, and have just realized that there are some people going through some hard times right now. And so we want to be praying for each other. That made me think of another story about roads in this book that I've been reading that Dan gave me called The Book of Mysteries. And again, it's a story. So in the story, you've got this man who's at this school and he has a teacher. The teacher sometimes just shows up and asks him to go somewhere. And so one day he says, hey, let's take a walk. And they walk along this wilderness path. And at some point it's rather treacherous, and then it sort of goes down into this valley. The teacher turns and says, what would you name this road? And he says, the Sandy Road, maybe? They keep walking, and then the landscape changes, and the teacher says again, what would you name this road? And he says, I don't know, the Winding Road, as it's going up and down and around. It comes into a valley. What would you name this road? He says, the Open Road. That goes down into a valley. What would you name this road? The Valley Road? It goes down into a cavern. It gets very thin and dark. He said, what would you name this road? And he says, the Dark Road. The teacher turns and says, every time I've asked you what you would name this road, you've named it based on the description of the road itself. But that's not how they do it in the Holy Land. That's not how roads in the land of Israel are named. And he says that, for example, the road leading up to Zion is called the Road to Zion. And the man says, so basically you're saying that roads are named for a location. And the teacher says, yes, more specifically, roads are named for a destination. Where is the road leading? For us, many times we look at our life and we name our life, the road of our life, based on where we are right now. And so I am on the road of a difficult marriage. I am on the road of cancer. I am on the road of a job change. I am on the right. We fill it in based on the description of where we are right now. The problem is, and the teacher goes on to talk about this, we must never name the road of our life based on where we are right now in our current circumstances, but always the destination. Where are we called to go and to be? We're called to be with God in heaven, where he's gone to prepare a place for us. He points out Philippians, which is the book we're in, 3, starting with verse 12. Not that I have already obtained this or am already perfect, but I press on to make it my own because Christ has made me his own. Brothers and sisters, I do not consider what I have made it to be my own, but one thing I do, forgetting what lies behind and straining forward toward what lies ahead, I press on toward the goal for the prize of the upward calling of God in Christ Jesus. So for us, I think the challenge is, let's take our eyes off of our circumstances right now and put our eyes on heaven, on Jesus and his calling on our life. And that might be years on down the road, but we are called to press on. Press on to the good. Press on to the highest. Press on to the heavenlies where God awaits us. And that is the road for today.